Where did that come from, Dan, when you first said, I don't know about the Patriots offense this year?
I think the honest part is I've been around good play callers and I've been around bad play callers. That's just the truth. And I've been the kid or the guy with the helmet on the field, getting the good play call in and feeling and seeing what the ease of when a good play call happens, or a good rhythm of a play call happens, or a good a way that a good play caller gets you into a good spot. And then I've been that same person with a play caller that's literally just calling plays. Hey, we have this play in our game plan this week. We're just going to throw it against the wall and let's see if it works in this moment. And I've seen how hard it is when they do that. And, when the reports were out that they were going to name a guy or it wasn't going to be a guy that had a history of it, I'm like, dude, that's a big deal. And I think that the simplest way I've said it is, Ross, is like building a game plan is a science. It is observable. It is repeatable. I mean, listen, you only get so many fronts and coverages in football. Hey, versus this front, we want to do this stuff. Versus this coverage, we want to do it this way. And then calling that play or tweaking that player at the right time is an art. It's a feel. You're seeing how they're doing something and you're trying to get ahead of it. So it's been a big concern of mine. I know it's just the preseason, so we'll see, but that's not a good situation for any quarterback, let alone a young one.
Yeah, and they're going, as you said, from a guy in Josh McDaniels who had been doing it for a long time, who was very intentional in how he did it, and who was really good at it, to I don't think we really know. I think most people seem to think when the season comes, it might just be Belichick doing it, but it's an interesting experiment to have either Patricia or Judge. I don't know if you know this, Dan, but when I was with the Patriots in 2005 and 2006, Patricia was the assistant offensive line coach. So that's sort of how Belichick does it, is he usually, like, I guess if he thinks he's going to have Patricia maybe be on the defensive side of the ball someday, he starts him on O-line for a year or two, so that when he's a D coordinator, he has a great feel for protection and what the offense is trying to do. He really likes having guys whose expertise on one side of the ball, flipping them, because, who knows better how to attack. So the thought, I think, is that Patricia is such a defensive guy that he should know as an offensive play caller how to throw a defensive coordinator off.
And I agree with that sentiment, but that's where I fall into the theory or the belief that it's a science. Like, hey, building the game plan. Like, I'm not sitting here debating if Matt Patricia or Joe Judge can't build a plan or know how to hurt a defense because it's math or whatever. I'm with that. It's just calling it in the moment. It's funny because when Mac Jones was drafted in New England, one of the things that everyone said was such a good thing was, well, he's hit the perfect spot because he's got this guy, Josh McDaniels. Now Josh isn't there and everyone's like, well, it's still okay. I'm like, well, how can you be the same person that says this but not believe this? So it's a big challenge. And now that Thornton's out with the collarbone injury, they lack some speed downfield. Like, their offensive line has not looked good in the preseason. Like, it's a big challenge right now.